Okay, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I finally got out here to do it. This is the reason why I got so excited whenever I discovered about the pre-flood mud fossil giants that are scattered all over the earth. Some of them are mountains. They were actual beings at one time. Now they're mud fossils. I grew up with this dude almost in my backyard. It's out in the middle of nowhere, which I grew up out in the country. Okay, this thing has been here forever. And I'm gonna take you on a little trip all the way around this thing, up close and personal. Okay, so you can see plainly, clearly, that it's a head. You can see the face. You can see the outline where the eye was, where the nose and the mouth, and that hole right on the side of it was its ear canal, I suppose. It's where its head blew out when the water come rushing in, I guess. It's solid sandstone. There's nothing else like that. I haven't ever seen anything else like it anywhere around here. You notice it's all red clay, except for that great big old dude. Okay, so we're gonna go up close. I gotta climb up this little hill. I think this is the neatest thing I've ever seen in my life. This place has always been mystical to me. It's always been my favorite place. As a matter of fact, I've always said when I die and I'm cremated, this is where I want my ashes. Here. I've always said that my whole life. I have said that. Okay, this thing is all there. It's all freaking there. Look here. Look down here where you can see where the water and the rocks and the sand just swirled right around this dude. This is the bottom of it, at the base of it. See that? How the water and the rocks, you can see where it just swirled right around him. Seeing the rocks up in there? Okay. Now, there's no reason for this to form like this just by itself. There's no reason for it to do that. It would have to have had something there for it to, for all the sand and, you know, rocks and everything, water to envelop, for it to adhere to and surround. And this is what happened here. He is massive. I haven't measured him yet, but I would say this head's probably 20 foot tall. Between 15 and 20 foot tall. Okay? Now, that's just his head. So, how tall, you know, I haven't calculated the, how much the rest of his body would have been, but he could have been 100 foot tall, y'all. 100 foot tall, okay? Now, I'm going to take you on a little walk around the thing, okay, and show you everything. See? Okay, now we're coming around kind of towards the front of him. Okay, do you see where his cheekbones, that was his mouth right there. You see that? And his nose and his chin. His mouth, his nose, and his chin. Right here. And what's left of his eye. Okay. See that hole right there? Okay. Now, you can even look at this from this way. Look. That looks like it was probably a tooth, maybe. See, look up at him. Look. See his nose? See how his face kind of... But everything is cracked right where it should be. See there? His cheeks. Right here. Cheeks. Come down. His jaw. Right where it should be. See the lines? See the lines? See that hole right there? That was probably some kind of artery. Okay, that's just some rocks right there that my friend piled up one day. Okay, you see where it's all broken, right? The cheeks. Okay, look at that. That's his mouth. See, and it goes way back. This is what is left of him. Everything was replaced by the minerals and the sand and rocks and whatnot, but it's more or less just an imprint of what it once was. Okay? There's no reason for this to do this just by itself. Just for no reason. There's just no reason for it. Okay? Now we're like getting close to the... we're around on the front side of him. We're underneath him, kind of. Right there is his chin. Okay, you see that? See this big hole right here? That was probably an artery. Okay. Now, this is the part that's really going to blow your mind. Let me back up here. Okay. Now look at him. Now, see where his mouth, his chin, his jaws are exactly lined up. His cheeks. Look at that left eye up there. Look at that. And see his forehead up there. I'm pretty sure his head caved in right there. That's where the pressure, that's where it blew out or whatever. But it's, from the pressure. Okay. Now. Okay, now. You can see where the bridge of his nose was. Okay, now we're gonna go around a little farther here. Look at this monster. Look at him. He was fucking massive, okay? Massive. He's fantastic. I think he's just grand. Okay, look at him here. Look. Look at this guy. I think, on this side, he just looks amazing. He's just grand. And he almost looks to me like he was dressed for battle. But see, look, where everything lines up. The bone's right behind where his eye would be, his temple, and his cheeks. It comes down. Look at that. This dude, he almost looks to me like he might have been dressed for battle. I don't know for sure, but let me get down here underneath him a little bit. Yeah, yeah. See, look at that. See where his cheek is? His chin, his jaw. I mean, this dude was freaking massive. Okay? Now, look at that eye. Now, I'm going to have to go down this hill. I'll show you where I'm trying to go down. Because there's a big skunk berry bush right there. See there? That's skunk berries. Okay. Now this place is about maybe half a mile from where I grew up, from my home. I mean, we could walk down here. I used to ride horses down here. That hill right there, when I was a teenager, my friend and I would ride horses down here. We'd climb up on top of it and smoke joints. Back in the 70s. Yes, but that was a long time ago. Okay, now here he is. See, from down here. Look at him. I mean, from both sides, he's all there. He is all there. He's the most amazing thing I have ever seen. That's why when I first discovered the mud fossil thing on YouTube, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I know where one of those is. I know where one is. I grew up with one of those. And what's really weird is deep down inside of my conscience, I have always felt that this thing was not just a rock formation, that he was real, that it was a real, living, breathing being at one time. Now, this is kind of getting around to the back side of it. Let me see, let's go this way. The bush is really in the way, but you get my point. I mean, the back part of him, of his skull right up here now, I don't know. But you can clearly see. You can even see where his ear was. And the little whoop-de-doo on the back of his head, right up here. Now, I'm not sure. That could have been some kind of part of a helmet. And the way the rock goes in layers on the top of his head up here. See right through there? He could have been dressed for battle. And down here, right there, was his shoulder. And he was probably, okay, let me show you something really cool. I think I have to get back a little ways to do that. Okay, now, yeah, I have to get back a little farther. Okay, from this. Now, you see, nope, that's still not back far enough. I'm sorry, let me get down here. See, and there's some more rock right down here that, you see that? It's all red clay except for this sandstone rock. It's just right through here. I think that was for something. I don't know. Okay, because it's just like all one big piece. Okay, now. Okay, let me see right here if I can. I'm gonna have to go down a little farther to get the whole thing in view. Okay, so picture the dude being engulfed in this freaking terrible flood, okay? And look, see, you can tell, look at the way the water swirled around him. You can clearly see where it all just swirled right around him. Okay? And now, look at that. Look at that hill right there. Look where he's headed. Think he's headed for higher ground, maybe? Huh? That's kind of what I think. Look at that. This place is so strange down here. It's part of a... This is part of Bear Creek, which I grew up on Bear Creek. It's just a sandy creek, not a lot of water, unless we have a flash flood. Look at the bird up there on top of its head. Can you see that bird? See that telephone pole right there? So, you know, this dude was so freaking huge. I've always said, just joking, we always called this place Indian Head Rock. But I've always known in my heart, in my gut, that this dude was a real living, breathing being at one time. Way before the flood. He was a pre-flood giant. This is why God flooded the earth. He set them off to battle each other and kill each other off, and then he was going to cause a flood to kill off the rest of them, because they were eating everybody. They were eating all the people, and there wasn't enough people. That's why God said, there won't be any left if I don't, if I don't do this. I've got to get rid of them. These are the Nephilim. These are the giants that were in the earth before Noah. And they were massive. They were, freaking huge. Check this dude out. Look at him. That's got to be 20 foot tall. That's just his head and his shoulder. What the fuck? The dude must have been 100 foot tall. He could have very well been 100 foot tall. Now, can you imagine that? I don't even know anything that is 100 foot tall around here that I could even see. But I just know that he was massive. And he's grand. He's fantastic. He's amazing. This is the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. This right here just proves that what it says in the Bible is true. That part is true. And also, all these little rocks, there's some really cool rocks down here, but let me walk back up. There's some really cool, and I've got a bunch in the back of the pickup, and I've got some in the house. I've picked up a bunch. They're everywhere out here. It's little fossilized shells. They're everywhere. They're all, you know, just about everywhere you look. Especially right up here. I will show you. Okay, see now this is the back of him. This is the back of his head. It looks like somebody did a little carving in it up there. Put their names in it. Which we used to too, right here, right along here. We always carved our names. But I'm telling you, this guy was real. He is one of the best examples, even out of all of the pictures and images on YouTube, and I've watched all of them. This is one of the best examples I've seen, that I have seen. See, this is, see, look at this, man. It's so weird. See how the water just swirled around right there, right through there? Just swirled around him. And he was locked tight in that, and there he stayed. There he stayed underwater for I don't know how long, but this place is so peaceful out here. It's just so peaceful right now. I got out here early. The sun's just come up over the hill. It's so nice. It's so pretty. It's so peaceful. I love this place. The birds are chirping. It's just quiet. It's just beautiful. Okay, now this is kind of coming back around on the other side. Now see up here on the back of his head right there, I don't know. It looks like it might have been part of some sort of a helmet. But look at the tree growing out the top of his head. That tells you that there's, you know, he's hollow inside. There's, you know, there's lines going through there that, okay, now this is him from kind of coming up from the back. And that big old knot thing sticking out right here at the bottom, that thing's pretty big. I don't know what that was. I know you can, all the holes and stuff, you can tell it was, that's veins and stuff. Okay, now, and I've often thought about digging. See, here is petrified fossilized shell. Here's a fossilized shell. They're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. So that just goes to show that, you know, this place was underwater. It was underwater. Okay. Now we're coming back around. I'm not as sure-footed as I used to be because I'm getting old. Okay. Now, see, here he is. There's this other side. Isn't this thing amazing? It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I loved growing up out here. This was the coolest childhood. I would never change it for $1 million. My parents lived out here in the same house for 50 years. In 2005, it burnt to the ground. Nobody was there, thank God, but this is my home. These are my roots. My roots are here. I am in my element when I'm right here. which I'm fixing to move to Amarillo. That's city enough for me, but I'm a hick, y'all. I am a hick, okay? And I'm not ashamed to admit it, because it was an awesome, awesome life. Okay, now look out across there. See, the creek is on back there. It's back that way. But, yes. This place is amazing. There's like all kinds of flint, and you walk down this creek down here on down that way, then there's like a dugout type of thing, like settlers or something, right on the creek. It's like part of the foundation of what was a home, okay? And I think there's something right here too. I mean, I think this is, it wouldn't surprise me if this thing was to be dug up, or if you dug a little bit, that it would. I think I've always said the rest of that dude's under the ground. He's buried. The rest of him is under the ground. That's why, this is the reason why, when I seen the mud fossils on YouTube, that I said, I know where one is. I know where one of those is. I grew up with him. It's so mind-blowing. Let me see what kind of rocks old Lorne picked up out here. And is it okay? See, that looks like a petrified, fossilized shell right there too. And that, see, that is a pretty good size one. That's a big fossilized shell right there. I mean, look at it. It's fossilized. So he found a few of them too. Look. Well, that's about all of them. Okay. But those things are everywhere. The little fossilized shells are everywhere. They are mixed up in here. See, look at that. Look. You can see where it just swirled around them. Look how pretty that is, though. Look at the pretty rocks in there. I think I just seen a piece of petrified wood somewhere. Where did I just see that? Sticking out of it. Where'd it go? Right here, maybe? See? That's a piece of wood. That was wood that got, you know, there was probably a bunch of wood, a bunch of what, everything. But there's another fossilized shell. That's petrified wood right there. Let me look at that closer. That is so cool. That is amazing. Okay. All these rocks out here. Yeah, so this is what I've been wanting to do. I finally made it back out here. I couldn't do it for a long time because I didn't have transportation. I worked all the time. But now I have transportation. See there? See, this is oil field. This is an oil field. See my old Z71 pickup? My husband and I bought that. We paid $2,000 cash for that old pickup, and it has been through a lot. It's had like 2 or 3 motors, 2 or 3 transmissions, and it's still kicking. My husband Johnny passed away in September, and I got the truck. Now I'm able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And so I like to come out here. See, look how pretty, look how peaceful. I'm surprised I haven't seen a deer. There's usually always deer down in here. There probably is somewhere, I'm sure. But I've seen, yeah, there's always deer. But anyway, okay, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I've got a friend that I watch on YouTube. His name is Wise Up. His name's Mark, but his deal is called Wise Up. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever watched. I love him. I love his videos. But I can't think of anybody else that I would rather send this to than him. Although I know that mud fossils are not really his forte, but he does know exactly what I'm saying about that there's no reason for this to be like this, but it's just all for no reason, okay? There had to have been something for it to form to, for it to, yeah, okay? And there's some other strange rock formations back over there, that little peak over there. I might get over there here in a minute after I walk around here for a little bit and make another video, because there's right up there, right up here, there's a strange rock formation, but it's just kind of like a bowl, like it's, I don't know, I've studied on it, I just don't know. But this place, when you look at it from over here, the road over here, through the phone, it looks almost like a fortress, like it was a fortress or something at one time. See the hills up here, and then that one, you know, it was just, I don't know. I've looked at this place from a whole another perspective anymore. So, but okay, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.